Hello and welcome back to SpearCenter. I'm Marilyn Anye.
And I'm Shahad Suleiman. Marilyn, a lot has gone on since our last episode.
Definitely. Shout out to both men and women's club rugby. The women's won the national championship on April 10th, facing off and taking down UC Irvine 31-12.
And not only that, men's rugby traveled abroad to Ireland at the beginning of the month for their first ever international rugby tour. After that, the team returned and took on Arizona State in the national quarterfinals, but fell 40-31 to the Sun Devils in Tempe, Arizona.
Our Spartan club sports never fail to represent.
That's right, Marilyn, and our reporter, Aaliyah Stewart, takes us into the world of women's club lacrosse with a brand new segment, Welcome to the Club. Take a look.
On Sunday, March 8th, 2026, the club women's lacrosse team celebrated their senior night, honoring seniors Elizabeth, Lupe, Alejandra, and Carly. The Spartans took on American River College from Sacramento, winning 17-1. This season was the first season with a new coach, Kellen, who has said to be a big help to this year's team.
Definitely a transition, but it's been amazing ever since. We've been growing. I think he's part of the help of the whole growth in our team, so we really appreciate him and are very thankful that we were able to recruit him, and he's been a very big help in our growth and just our personal as well.
New head coach, the team atmosphere has shifted. The season has been full of ups and downs for the Spartans, and team dynamics have shifted in a positive way. This game was noted as their best game all season.
I feel like the team has evolved a lot from last year, but then also like within this season it's evolved a lot. Like since our first game we lost 17-2, and now we're like winning. We won 17-1 today, so I'm pretty proud of like where we've come.
As the club season comes to an end, the team is now recruiting new players for next season, and it is open for anyone to join, regardless of skill level.
We'd love to have you. We love to have somebody who's dedicated to be there every single practice, every single game. We want you to have, we wanted to know that we will grow with you and meet you where you're at.
Spartan football held their annual spring game last Saturday at CEFCU Stadium. Fans got to see Spartans, both new and old, take on the field for the first time since last November. Our reporter Niles Hall was in attendance and tells us more.
I'm Niles Hall, this year's football beat writer, and I'm here at CEFCU Stadium as the San Jose State Spartans prepare for the 2026 season with their annual spring game.
SJSU football's first phase of the 2026 season began with 15 spring practices in hopes of retooling after a disappointing 3-9 season. After the Spartans had the second lowest returning statistical production in college football this season, according to ESPN, there has been competition across the roster. Most importantly, the team has held a three-way quarterback competition between senior Hawaii transfer Luke Weaver, sophomore Robin McDaniel, and freshman Daniel Rolovich.
But, it might be 2 minutes before kickoff versus the Trojans, like, hey, you're starting. It's a close battle. We chart everything. We grade everything. I grade everything. We chart everything. We have line graphs and reasons why guys make decisions, good decisions, poor decisions, and it's close. Robbie Mack has had a really good spring. He's thrown the ball really well. He's got arm talent, and his touchdowns, is pretty high, but there's some things that he's got to work on. Luke, steady Freddy, he never gets rattled. He moves the ball moves down the field with him. And Daniel is his potential's through the roof, but he still should be in high school. So we want to get whoever that starter is going to be a ton of reps. But the way that coach has created practices and how we create the reps within the practice allows our guys to get a ton of reps. So I think we probably dwindled it down to 2, maybe after the first week at camp.
Along with the competition at Spartan's spring camp, newly promoted defensive coordinator Boje Filimawatu will look to change the defensive identity as the team welcomed coaching hires with high pedigree.
I feel like I knocked it out of the park with the guys that have come in. Coach Brian Norwood, one of the best secondary coaches in the country, has added a ton to our program. You can see it in play at the corners and in the back end. Joe Dale also came and is same thing. I can say the exact same thing. He's a younger coach, but really impressive. Ramson's brought the toughness that I've been looking for up front with our O-line, which we needed, some physicality. And so, I don't know if you guys have been practicing a lot more yelling, you know what I mean? But it's kind of what we're looking for up front. Move Coney to tight ends, and he's very familiar with this offense, been in a long time, done a really good job.
As spring camp closes, players will prepare for fall camp, which is expected to start on July 29th, ahead of the Spartans' Week 0 matchup at USC.
Spartan baseball approaches the end of their season and will face off against 4 conference teams before the Mountain West tournament. Our reporter, Alex Stoyev, goes over the Spartans' most recent matchups against both the University of Nevada and Fresno State.
San Jose State baseball started a 3-week road trip in Reno, Nevada, with a 3-game conference series against the University of Nevada Wolfpack. The first game was a blowout in favor of Nevada, as the Spartans would fall 11-1, with the mercy rule kicking in and ultimately ending the game in the 8th inning. The second game was hectic to start, as this double play would get the Spartans out of a jam early that saw Nevada have 2 on with 1 out. After a couple of scores from the Spartans, including this one from redshirt junior third baseman J.C. Osorio-Agard, with a 6-0 lead in the 3rd inning, graduate center fielder Brent Cota made this diving effort to make the catch for an out. In the 5th inning, senior left fielder Jake McCoy seemingly hit the dagger with this 3-run home run to left field to give the Spartans a 9-0 lead. More on McCoy later, by the way. Nevada would make a little bit of a comeback, but SJSU would shut that down and ultimately win the game 12-6. The third game seemed to be the game of doubles for the Spartans, as after this score from Osorio-Agard in the 1st inning, the offense would go cold for most of the game. But the Spartan defense came up clutch with this double play in the 1st inning with 2 on and 1 out, and this double play in the 6th inning while up 1 run again with 2 out. Freshman second baseman Peyton Rawls gave the Spartans a 2-run lead with this single in the 9th, but the Wolfpack would walk it off with a 3-run homer, giving SJSU a 5-4 loss. After a non-conference win versus Cal Berkeley, the Spartans would play a 2-game non-conference series versus Fresno State. In the 4th inning, down 3-0, senior designated hitter Neil Jensen would send this ball way over the wall for a game-tying 3-run homer. In the 6th inning, sophomore first baseman Ron Klein sent this ball all the way to the scoreboard to give the Spartans the lead. This double from Rawls would extend SJSU's lead to 6-3, which would be the final score. Talk about more doubles, as in the second game, this ball hit up the middle would result in yet another double play for the Spartans. Remember Jake McCoy? Yeah, he's back at it again with this homer to give him his team-leading 10th homer of the season. After a couple more stops and scores, the Spartans would take Game 2 of the series 10-2. SJSU head coach Brad Sanfilippo talked about how it felt finishing the second week undefeated.
Happy to finish our week off here with a 3rd win. I thought we played pretty good baseball this week, and Rocco Caballero gave us a big start in the first with the 2-out RBI, 2 of them that gave us a little bit of lead, and then Jesse Gutierrez pitched really, really well. Kyler Bacosa came in and kept it, minimized an inning that I thought was great, and then from that point on, Caden Duke, Tyler Albanese, and EJ McGrew, brought us home there.
The Spartans will finish off their road trip with a 3-game conference series in Colorado Springs against Air Force Academy. Sitting in 6th in the Mountain West standings, they have a shot to get back to the Mountain West tournament as they approach May. Reporting with the Spear, I'm Alex Stoyev. Now back to SpearCenter.
Marilyn, I've had the opportunity to see the gymnastics team compete, and they've been really impressive.
Well, to me, good performance is a reflection of good coaching. Our reporter, Javen Takar, sat down in the studio with head coach Joanne Bowers with an exclusive one-on-one. Take a look.
I am lucky enough to be here with the gymnastics head coach, Joanne Bowers. Coach Bowers, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Javon. Thank you very much for having me in.
Right on. So we're just going to talk about the past season, but first, let's get into you a little bit. You spent some time with Illinois State, Kent State, University of Michigan. You brought Washington to 10 NCAA West regionals. Talk about your coaching experience. What got you into coaching?
Well, I was a gymnast my whole life, Army brat. We moved every year. There were 5 of us kids, and it was like my home away from home. So my family was always super important to me, but then my gymnastics family was also very important to me. And I think I started coaching a lot at a very young age to help with some of my fees and different things, and I found I loved it. I went to James Madison University in Virginia, and my college coach at the time got us all into judging. He would pay us to work on Saturdays to teach young kids, and I just fell in love with it, and I knew that's what I wanted to do. Got married in college, and my husband was a college football coach, so followed him a lot at first. That was the Illinois State, Kent State. You know, when he went to Bowling Green, I went to Michigan. First time he followed me, we went to Washington, University of Washington. I was the head coach there for 10 years. And then both of our boys were in the Bay Area. My younger son was a Cal quarterback, and we kind of looked at each other and said, if we could get jobs in California and be near our adult sons. That's how I got here 9 years ago, and I just finished my 8th year here at San Jose State, and I love it here. I've been at every level. I've gotten to do a lot of different things, but I really enjoy it here.
How proud of you were you with the team?
Truthfully, it was almost embarrassing on round 2 because the teams came out, okay, and the individuals came out with the teams, okay. Well, because 4 of them were competing in 5 different events, they kept announcing the teams and their head coach, and then they'd do the individual and the head coach. And then they did that for every team. So I got my name announced like 5 times. And I was like, man, you'd think I was like superstar here because of their individual performances. And then because they weren't with the team and because, you know, Pitts is a senior, but some young ones, I really didn't know how they would do without having the backing of our team. But our team was there and they were up there cheering the entire time. And they moved around with us, which was great. But I really didn't know if the moment was going to be too big for them. And all 4 of them hit the 5 events they competed so well that day. And I think it just spoke volumes for their season, how they wanted to finish up and everything.
You mentioned that you coach with positive reinforcement. Is that something that's still going? How has that grown from when you started?
Well, in college, I was an elementary major, physical education major, and the head of our department was real big in positive reinforcement, and we did all sorts of learning opportunities. We had a preschool on our campus that we all did a bunch of teaching at. I was so ready when I went to go to my teacher training and different things. And I always say parenting, coaching, teaching, to me it's all the same. You hold people to a high standard. You give them lots of positives. Keep finding things that they do well and keep reinforcing that. Try to ignore some negative behaviors, especially if you know they're just doing it for attention, especially the younger they are. But hold people accountable. And I think in today's society with the gentle parenting and all that we hear about, and everybody gets a trophy and stuff like that, it goes away from those a lot. You can still be very positive. Like, I don't believe in screaming and yelling at them. They got to want to be there to begin with. But I think being positive every day, and it starts, I always say everything starts from us, like as a staff. If we come in with a positive attitude, with a lot of energy, and then ask that of them, it's easier. If I walk in like, oh, I've had a bad day, and expect them to have a good practice. So to me, it's like a daily reminder all the time. And we talk a lot about being grateful. Like, what are you grateful for? Like, I'm so grateful because life's hard right now. It's hard here in the Bay Area with traffic, with the cost of living, with everything. But it's like we all have stuff to be grateful for. And I think being able to do what we love every day, if we keep that at the forefront, some of the negatives that come in there, it don't seem quite as bad.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Right, we'll be there. We'll be there next season to cover all the exciting stuff that you guys have got going on.
Thank you.
Gymnastics made their 10th appearance at the NCAA Regional and fell by 0.05 of a point to the Washington Huskies.
While their season has come to a close, our other Spartan women teams continue to grind. Our reporter, Alex Diaz, is at the big board to showcase all your favorite Spartans women in our new segment, She's Got Game.
Behind every game, there's a story, and in women's sports, those stories are just getting started. I'm your host, Alex Diaz. Welcome to She's Got Game, a new segment where we highlight the athletes and the moments shaping Spartan women's sports. We start on the track, where one Spartan made her mark in a big way. Sophomore Mila Easley led the way at Brian Clay Invitational, placing second in the women's long jump and setting a new personal best jump of 5.80 meters, and she saved her best for last, hitting that mark on her final attempt of the meet. Now to the diamond, where one Spartan stepped out in a big moment. Senior Reina Zermeño delivered one of the biggest swings of the weekend for San Jose State softball. With the bases loaded and 2 outs, Zermeño crushed a grand slam to right field, giving the Spartans a late lead and shifting the momentum instantly. and she finished with 4 RBIs on the day, continuing to be a key presence in the lineup. And from standout performances to what's ahead, the Spartans now push their focus to the postseason. San Jose State's women's golf enters the Mountain West Championship as the top seed and the team to beat. Ranked 51st in the nation, the Spartans bring a strong lineup and a group that consistently competed at a high level all season. And this program is one that knows how to win. San Jose State has already claimed conference titles in 2022 and 2024 and now looks to add another championship run. That's a look for this week's Spartan Women's Sports. For She's Got Game, I'm Alex Diaz. Back to SpearCenter.
Looks like fans will be singing Take Me Out to the Ball Game. SJSU baseball and softball has a busy weekend ahead. Our reporter, Alex Stoiv, is at the big board for our Spartan schedule.
Thank you, Marilyn. Spartan sports is dwindling down as we reach the end of the spring semester, but there are still 2 sports to be played. First one, we'll start off with baseball, a conference series against Air Force in Colorado. First game starts Friday at 2 p.m. Then we'll kick it off to Saturday at noon, and the final game will be Sunday at 11 a.m. The Spartans currently sit 6th in the Mountain West standings, good enough for the last spot in the Mountain West tournament bracket. They will continue on their fight to stay in the tournament race and make it back to the tournament. Now, there are still more bats to be hit as we move on to softball. Their final regular season series at home against the New Mexico Lobos. First game will start Friday at 6 p.m. That is going to be faculty day, so remember that, faculty. Saturday, 3 p.m. the second game. That is going to be country day. And then the final home game of the regular season for softball, Sunday at noon. That is going to be senior day. Congratulations to all the seniors that are on the team. Not many sports, but still a lot of recaps that are going to be coming up on our website. Make sure to check those out at thespearsjsu.com. Back to the desk.
While Spartan baseball and softball are coming to a close, our other Spartan sports are preparing for their upcoming seasons.
Our reporter, Ethan Ndachi, gives us a preview of the upcoming men's soccer season.
Hey Spartans, it's men's soccer beat reporter Ethan Ndachi here, and the men's soccer team has just announced its schedule in the fall of 2026 Mountain West Conference. So let's go ahead and take a look at what the Spartans will be facing next season. SJSU opens conference play versus UC Davis at home on September 26th. Davis finished 5th in the Big West Conference regular season in 2025, making it to the semifinals of the conference tournament. The Aggies will give a strong test to open the season and will also be the team the Spartans end conference play with on November 6th. Looking ahead to October, the team will travel to Phoenix, Arizona to take on old foes Grand Canyon University on October 4th. The two sides last faced off in the Western Athletic Conference Championship Final, where the Antelopes put the Spartans' title dreams to bed. Head coach Simon Tobin and associate head coach Chuy Sanchez will look to avenge their loss against a great side in a great rivalry match. The reverse fixture will be on October 28th, where SJSU will look to get the result at home in front of the Spartan faithful. The last key matchup I have for you is Utah Tech. Finishing 2nd in the WAC conference standings and making it to the semifinals of the championship tournament, the Trailblazers will provide an intense and exciting matchup in Utah on October 14th and at the Spartan Soccer Complex on November 1st. Make sure to keep an eye out for these fixtures next semester in an important first season in the Mountain West. Back to you, SpearCenter Desk.
Marilyn, with the spring semester winding down, what's been your favorite sport to follow?
Well, honestly, I was a big fan of women's tennis this semester.
Well, let's see what our other Spartans think. Our reporter, Hattie Barghouti, took to campus to ask SJSU what sports they've been keeping up with in our new segment, Around.
I'm Hattie Barghouti with the Spear, and I went around campus finding out which teams our Spartans are watching.
Right, so, what's your favorite SJSU sport to watch and why?
Yeah, so my favorite is actually wrestling. I like going out there and seeing them perform in the SRAC or going out to other schools to perform on the national stuff like that.
Yeah,
a lot of tournaments.
Yeah, and how about you? What's your favorite SJSU sport?
You know, I'm gonna have to say basketball. I think I mess with that the most.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Damn, hold on. I can't glaze. Hold on. I think my answer.
No, you can glaze. You can actually glaze as much as you want.
Football. Yeah. I think it's my favorite because I got a homie, Ethan. He plays for the team. He went to my high school, so.
I like to go support the football team because there's 2 players on there, Nasir Peters and Malik Crawford, and they're disciples of Christ. So I just love to support my fellow brothers who just do the will of God. Set a great example on the football field. So.
My favorite SJSU sport to watch is SJSU ice hockey. I love watching that sport because the crowd gets really wild. Sometimes the band is there and it gets really crazy. And yeah, my boyfriend's on the team. So.
Yeah.
I'm going to be biased and say soccer, men or women's. I would obviously love to say women's just because I love supporting women's sports and everyone deserves a chance to be playing, and it's a great opportunity to watch them play in a collegiate level. The game overall is just fun to watch. It keeps on going. There's no timeouts and there's no challenges. That's why every other sport irritates me because I'm like, why is it taking forever? Soccer is just, 45, game over, and you just watch some good constant play.
I think my favorite sport to watch is football, and I love the school spirit and like the student section. It's super fun, and I love all the dancers, the cheerleaders, and the music is great too.
Now, before we end our show, we do have some sad news to announce.
Yes, everybody's favorite segment will have to wait until our final episode of the semester.
But it is for a good reason. Our reporter, Javen Takar, is compiling a list of the best plays from the 2025 to 26 academic year for our final SpearCenter Top 10 yet.
You definitely won't want to miss that. Well, that's all for this edition of the SpearCenter. Make sure to follow our socials and keep up with your favorite Spartan sports.
Also, make sure to check out our website for more games and recaps. Thank you for joining us. I'm Marilyn Anye.
And I'm Shah Suleiman. Until next time, Spear fans, this is SpearCenter.